What's up, YouTube? This is going to be your guide on how to get high IV Pokemon using the Tera raid battle function on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So in the world, I'm probably sure you've noticed by now, there's these big lumps of crystal. These contain different Tera raids for you to actually join and capture the Pokemon. They'll also be visible on the map later game too, and they'll actually show the types of the Tera raid too. It won't be to actually get into the raid, you'll see how many stars the Pokemon is. Now, the best thing to do here, if you want to get really high IV Pokemon, is to do the real higher raids. The thing about each different raid level is they give different rewards, IVs, and information like that. So I'm going to be going through what every single one does and how I got to get a 6 IV Pokemon. So basically, when you go into the raid, you'll have a Pokemon here. Depending on what the level is, how fast it'll be fainted. There'll be shields and there'll be options to use your attacking moves too. Now, we'll say one thing too, it is very laggy online when you actually do this, so you may want to do this offline depending on if you want to do it with friends or not. But just be warned, it is very laggy, so you may be sitting there for a good 10 to 20 seconds actually having to catch up to what the other people see on the screen. So you've got cheers in these. You can actually cheer 3 times. You can boost attack, boost defensive stats, and you can also heal up your yourself and your other partners in this raid as well, which can be very handy on the highest things. Now, you've got a timer here as well, so obviously the longer the raid goes, the timer goes down. When Pokemon faint, the timer just dumps. So you don't really want to be fainting, and you want to be trying to tetralize as well when obviously the Pokemon puts up a shield too. If you're unsuccessful in the raid, you'll get blown out of the Tera raid, sort of like max raid battles and Sword and Shield. So that'll be it. You can obviously retry the battle. So when you want to actually catch a Pokemon here after you beat it, you'll be given the option to catch it, and they put this amazing animation here for catching the Pokemon. I wish they would have put more work into the rest of the game too, but there you go. But you get this amazing animation for catching the Pokemon, and then after catching the Pokemon, you'll get a series of rewards, which is really nice. Now, obviously 1 and 2 star raids give very little. We're going to be starting with 3 star raids, so these will be starting to appear obviously as you get into the game and stuff like that. 3 star raids are still pretty easy when you got like high level late game Pokemon, like level 100 and stuff like that, so they won't give you too much challenge there. Now, beating a 3-star Pokemon, you see you get some pretty nice rewards just for beating that, like experience candy, stuff like that, and you'll be getting 2 best IVs. So that means you get 2 IV max for a 3-star raid, so guaranteed every time. That means you can get 2 plus, so you can get 3 possibly, but the minimum will be 2. Next up, we got the 3-star raid here as well with this Kamala. I did a little bit of comparison just to see which ones would actually give the raids and the IV. So we did the 4-star, and this actually gave a number of rewards, and it also gave some really nice IVs too. It actually gave a minimum of 3 best IVs, which was great. Like, look at the rewards you're getting there. So I went to the Momola here, and as you can see, I've got 3 best. So that means, you know, 4-star raids, you'll get 3 IV minimum. So this is a really great way to get really high IVs on your Pokemon. So then I went online here and did a quick little 5-star raid. Well, it wasn't as quick. It did take quite a while. Now, we'll say one thing, depending on the Pokemon too, you can get some really easy raids that are high, depending on the Pokemon, but you can get some really difficult ones too. So as you can see, the rewards are really starting to be handed out there, and you can see with the Noivern, I've got 4 IVs minimum on that raid. So you can get 4 IV plus on a 5-star raid. So this is the excellent way to get those high IVs. Now we're going to be trying out the 6-star raids. These ones are the hardest ones you can get, and depending on the Pokemon you get, boy, it takes a lot of time. Sometimes it can take a few goes as well, and you probably want to really get your team or party adjusted to what you want to do there. Like maybe if it's a certain Tera type, you can get all moves that are super effective against that. Sometimes you'll even have to make a strategy, like depending on what moves the Pokemon uses. For instance, this Umbreon was insanely bulky. It was a Steel Tera type, and it had the moves Tickle, which would actually drop your attack and defense. It had Amnesia, Calm Mind, which would boost its special attack and special special defense. It had curse on top of that as well, and foul play. So a very, very strong set there. Foul play doing lots of damage to physical attackers. Or say I had this Hariyama with belly drum. I wanted to boost my attack. Well, that would do a lot of damage, but then it would do a lot of damage to me. So it was quite a difficult Pokemon to get around, and some of these can take many goes. So at this stage in the game, you need to have very, very powerful Pokemon. They need to be properly EV trained as well, so like max in certain stats like that. So, yeah, we eventually got around this Umbreon, which took a long time, and I want to see what sort of reward drops Umbreon will give, and if we were going to get our continued, like, IVs as well. So, I got a Sour Herb Miska bottle cap and ability patch. Look at these crazy rewards. So, these are really rare rewards to get ability patch, and you can also get, these through the 6-star. So, these are only 6-star raids you get the, like, ability patch and stuff like that. So, these are really, really rare items, and looking at Umbreon stats, we've got a nice 5 IV there. Look at that. Beautiful. So 5 IV straight off the bat. You can use that straight away, or if you want to be using your picnic for the breeding. So it works perfectly for that. So then I was thinking to myself, well, you should be able to roll a random 31 IV, hopefully, to try and get a 6 IV. So obviously, as I mentioned before, 6-star raids give 5 IV. But I wanted to see if it actually is possible to get a 6 IV, which I'm sure it is. All you've got to do is be patient, I reckon. So you just have to get fairly lucky. So we took on this Volcarona raid, and this wasn't as bad as the Umbreon. It wasn't as bulky. So we had a strategy of actually dropping its special attack with I forget its name there. The Miss Magius lookalike. I'm still learning names. And I was dropping its special attack with Mystical Fire. And my other two people in the raid here, Kath and Brand, were actually dropping, increasing their special attack. So it worked very, very well. And we eventually wore down the Volcarona. So I was like, okay, let's have a little check in comparison on the rewards we get as well. So this time I didn't get ability match, but I got a Bitter Herb Mystica, which is a really rare item as well. Look at the there's giving mints out like candy. Pardon the pun there. But you get so many rewards here for doing this 6 raids, and you hadn't have a chance of actually getting a 6 IV too. But 5 IV minimum there, and you can have a chance of getting a 6 IV. Just has to randomly roll. So that's the luck side of it. So I went into my PC and I was just checking what Pokemon there were, and there we go, a flawless 6 IV Pokemon straight from the raid there. Yeah, you go. Absolutely wonderful there. And yeah, they're pretty high levels too. They're level 75, so it's pretty ready to go there. You just have to, give it some EVs and things like that. Now, that was actually Modest Nature, so I got wildly lucky there getting that Modest Nature, which was crazy. So 6 IV Modest, that's definitely the best Pokemon I've caught from a raid so far there. But even so, like, you can get 5 IV Pokemon plus just doing these raids. Just get a strategy together, depending on the Pokemon. Maybe get a good team of people there you can rely on, because sometimes the bots don't really do very good. They die a lot, and that drops the timer. So maybe get it done with a good group of people and stuff like that to get your Pokemon down. Now, if you're wondering how to get your Pokemon judged, you just have to go to the Pokemon Center after you beat the Elite Four. Just talk to that, and that'll be unlocked. So this is just an example of some of the items I got here too. I've got some ability capsules, ability patch, and now they work both ways, so you can virtually get any ability. So yes, that means the starter can actually get the Moxie ability, for example, which is really cool. And you get all these really nice mints as well. So you don't have to go and spend like battle points like Sword and Shield, which is really like tedious and boring. You can get them straight away. And also you get bottle caps too, so that allows you to max up your Pokemon. Now, using bottle caps, you actually don't need to be level 100 anymore. You only need to be level 50, which is really, really good, so you don't have to bother about getting them up high. But I'm just showing you some of the items I got. I've used a lot of these already, but yeah, that's pretty much how you go about getting a 5 IV guaranteed. And if you're lucky enough to get a 6 IV, that is how you go about doing it. Now, if you'd like to see me do, I was thinking maybe doing a guide on like the breeding for this. Would you like to see that? Let me know in the comment section of the video. I think I could definitely do that for you. I'm going to be getting back to my battles. I've got some theme teams of Pokemon, so it's competitive stuff I actually want to get to as well during this week and onwards. So I'm looking forward to that. But this is pretty cool, and you can actually get some really good items out of this too, just doing the raids. So it's very, very beneficial just doing them. Even like 3-4 star raids still give like some decent items too. And you can sell a lot of these items too to actually get money in the game too, which is very handy because you can buy like a lot of the different items in the game. They've opened it up so you can buy a lot of the competitive items instead of like having to use like battle points and stuff like that, which would be tedious hours of grinding and stuff like that. And good for completing your Pokedex as well. So you get a lot of those sour herba things there, the herba mysticas, which are very rare too, which help with like a lot of things, which are really, really good. But that's pretty much it, people. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hope it was helpful. And yeah, there you go. Go out into the Tera raid battles and get yourself a 5 IV or maybe a 6 IV if you're super lucky. All right, people. I'll catch you next time. Peace.